So I have had a blessed life. I was raised in a beautiful home and community with family and friends who taught me what they knew, which is when you work hard, you will be successful and you'll live happily ever after. Now, I also had, right? Now, I also have a strong faith based background as well. I'm a fifth generation PK. So God
Wow.
was, oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And I'm married to a preacher too.
Wow. Oh my gosh, so cool.
Oh, yeah. So God was always present, always there. And I was very blessed that my first encounter with Jesus was actually in the fourth grade. So I always knew he was there, always present in my life, right? So when I was working hard, I knew that was for the glory, right? So I was never confused about that. What wound up happening though is, we're operating in the world and everyone around you is working for success and accolades and recognition.
Yeah.
And so it's very easy to get caught up in that. And I did. And it wasn't that I didn't feel loved and appreciated, right? It was just that that's what I was surrounded by.
Sure.
And so I did a lot of things so that I could fit in, staying up late, getting up early so that there were some days actually where I was not sleeping at all, saying yes to projects that, although they were positive, were not necessarily aligned with my purpose and the calling that I knew was on my life. And just taking on things that were not mine and learning the hard way that I have access, just like everybody else, to God. And so taking on other people's stuff, their paths was not beneficial to them or to me. But it was not until my health started to fail that I realized that those platitudes are great to say and realize, but you got to actually put some action behind them. And it wasn't until my daughter found me passed out in the middle of the floor from exhaustion. And she was only 6 years old at the time. And I was too tired to put my child to bed. Literally, she put her blanket over me and her pillow under my head and said, "Good night, Mama." And the only thing I had strength to do was to say, "Good night, baby." That was when I knew that something had to change. I had to do something different.
Wow.
Um, but nobody tells you that there is a space between the realization and the implementation of the something different.
Oh, that's good right there.
Well, yeah, because everyone makes it seem like it's just this huge aha moment. Life shifts, the thunderclouds part, and then everything is just right.
It's
And
so
it's
true.
yeah, and we see that a lot, particularly when people accept Christ, right?
Yeah,
Particularly
completely.
later in life. And they expect everything to be different. What has changed is you. You have
Yeah.
changed and your
Yeah.
perspective has changed. But your circumstances are what they are. And you now know that you're not alone as you deal with them.
Right.
And it took me 2 years to make that transition to realize that I was not alone and to get the help that I needed. And so I started working with a performance coach, Reverend Rowena Silvera Beck. And we took a long, hard look at my life, and she had me list everything I was involved in. And Tamra, it was 7 pages long, single space.
Whoa.
Because I was serving on multiple boards.
Sure.
And actually, I was serving as president of 3 different ones at the same time.
Oh my.
And I know. And for any of you who are listening who think, "Oh my gosh, that's crazy," I promise you, you are close to that yourself.
Yeah.
Because what Rev Ro had me see is, and particularly as women, right? It's not that you're just a mom. You're not just a mom. You're carpool, and you're the, you're the nutritionist.
That's so
You're
true.
also, yeah, you're the stylist and the wardrobe stylist as well, and you are the manicurist.
Yes, gosh, I love
You,
that.
you, yeah, you're doing everything, right?
Yeah.
And so some of those things they have to fall off now. Admittedly, when your children are small, you can't just outsource that,
Yeah.
right? But as they get bigger, they need to be helping around the house. There's no reason for you to be doing dishes.
It's true.
There's no reason for you to be doing their laundry. They're teenagers. Yeah, yes. You're about to send them off to college. They have to know how to wash their clothes so they don't all come out gray.
That's good. That's so true. I did not have that luxury. And by luxury, I mean I didn't have the luxury of doing my own laundry. It felt like luxury on the other side of it. But to this day, I had a stain on my daughter's sweatshirt. And I was like, how do I get this out? How does this work? And it's a white sweatshirt. So I didn't want to ruin the white sweatshirt and put it in all the things. So girl, you're preaching. Keep going.
Yeah. So, once I realized that, it took another couple of years to streamline that, to remove things, and to have conversations with my colleagues, some friends, to let them know that I would not be able to be all things to all people anymore if I was going to be around to see my daughter graduate. Because I went through a series of progressively worse surgeries. Because of the amount of stress that I had placed on myself, allowed to be placed on me, I developed stage 4 endometriosis, which is the uncontrolled growth of uterine cells outside of the uterus. Now, for most people, it doesn't bother them. Most women don't even know they have endometriosis. I did not fall into that category. Mine was so progressive, it led to a total and complete hysterectomy as well as bowel obstruction. And I still have scar tissue that I live with the complications from that even now. And that was over 10 years ago.
Wow.
So, when I say that priority is being a good mom to my daughter and seeing her off to college, being a good life partner to my husband and growing our ministry, taking care of me so that I can be those things, as well as hearing what God has for my life. Everything else falls by the wayside, and that makes it really
all those
easy.
roles are full-time roles as they are, right?
Yes.
Shoot.
Oh, yes.